food is an essential part of our lives, safe to consume can be tricky. Everyone knows the healthy foods and those that are not, right? 1 in 10 people fall ill annually due to eating contaminated food, according to the World Health Organization. Some bad food is probably in your kitchen right now. Other foods around the world are just outright dangerous, and not because they are expired or prepared in unclear way. Without realizing it, the common foods we eat regularly have made the list of the most dangerous food in the world. It was stated by Dr. Heath Cantor, nutritionist and CEO of Nutritional Addiction Mitigation Eating and Drinking Program. Today, I would like to share with all of you about 3 dangerous foods in the world. Here are some dangerous foods that have the potential that might kill you, which are fugu, bullfrog, and hot dog. To start, let's talk about the first dangerous food in the world, which is fugu. Firstly, fugu is a sort of fish and it's the most deadly marine animal in the world. Now, we are getting a little gross. Cuttlefish is called fugu in Japan. It has achieved almost a mythic status in Western cuisine. Risk-taking has become synonymous, but amazingly, the meat of cuttlefish is considered a delicacy. Fugu can be found as sushi or sashimi. However, when properly prepared, it's perfectly safe to eat. In Japan, it is extremely expensive with servings in the range of between $20 to $50, and a full meal itself costing up to $200, which is RM 815 in Malaysia. It is only prepared by trained licensed chefs who go through several years of training to learn how to remove toxic parts of the fish, and know that one wrong cut means almost certain death for a customer. Sushi Fact stated the chef also used a special knife called a fugu haiki. Approximately 3 years of training or a trial period is required before a chef is allowed to ensure they have the right skills to prepare well the dish with a guide. But most of them fail their complicated examinations. Hence, this secures that only the most skilled and knowledgeable applicants have been certified for the job. Here's a no known and cure antidote. It has a high level of toxin. So, this is the reason why fugu has been outlawed and banned in the US. Which many deaths occur annually. The meat itself is not innately poisonous. The only problem is that its body is full of deadly tetrodotoxin. Perhaps eating just a tiny amount or even a pinhead of the fugu, which is suffocase, can be lethal. The reason is the ovaries, intestines, and liver of the cuttlefish contain a poison called tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times more lethal than cyanide. Tetrodotoxin poisoning is rapid and painful, which quickly kills through paralysis, loss of sensation, and respiratory failure, and followed by death. There are more than 20 people have died from fugu poisoning in Japan since 2000. That does not stop people from eating it. Every year, people eat more than 10,000 tons of fugu. Death does not bother result for those who accidentally consume the toxin. Besides fugu, let me share the next dangerous food in the world. Secondly, bullfrog are native to North America. As stated by Tatiana Belova, they are usually considered a delicacy in certain African nations, where they eat the whole frog except for the internal organs, not even just the legs. Now, let's get gross again. The existence of frogs is the indication of a healthy pond, right? Well, that depends on the kind of frog. Instead, they ingest the entire frog, and that eating this amphibian becomes dangerous food. Every year, the French nibble about 4,000 tons of frog's legs, but that's nothing compared with massive number being eaten in South America. According to John Henley, now it leads the world frog population and towards extinction. Scientists has long been plugged into that why human activity is causing amphibians to seem to be suffering far more severely than any other animal group. They are the most threatened animal group. About 1/3 of all amphibian species are now recorded as a threatened animal. against 23% of mammals and 12% of birds. 12% of birds, says Curry Bradshaw, an associate professor at the Environment Institute of the University of Adelaide, and with his member of the team that researched human frog consumption. The bullfrog is a staple food in the diet of indigenous people of North America, although there's no telling if they particularly like it or not. The cat, they eat frogs when other food is unobtainable. As a survivalist, you can't be picky. You have to consume as much of the animal as possible. It depends on how the cooking setup on the frog. Frog legs are best fried after being rolled in flour and eggs, but they may be boiled or baked or even barbecued. Bullfrog tastes like chicken, and some people say they taste like fish. There are a lot of people who make fun of the idea of consuming frogs. In many parts of the world, frogs' legs are a delicacy. You can find them everywhere from France to all places in the American Southeast. Jonathan H. Cantor stated in the eastern Luawa Valley, they eat the frogs, which they call Kanyama Kalie Fupam, which means the animal without bones. As stated by Robbie Woods, the risk here is they contain toxic substances harmful in their skin to shut down human kidneys if they are not prepared well, especially young frogs who are yet to breathe. The premature bullfrog can cause an extremely painful urinary inflammation, so it is crucial to avoid eating them before the mating season begins. However, it's not known if this is due to poison or bacterial infection that frogs are carrying. They also carry a toxic that can lead to the kidney failure. However, as survival food, the bullfrog is available and will prove a tasty, nutritious treat when nothing else is available. Finally, the hot dog. It is delicious and lots of people love how it tastes, but who knew it was dangerous food as well. It is cheap, easy to grill, and we can eat one-handed. But just because a hot dog is notorious doesn't mean it is healthy. So, what is the truth? The thing to remember about a hot dog that they are made of the parts of the animal that are left over, the choice cuts are that used up. In 2015, a World Health Organization report announced that eating processed meat can lead to bowel cancer. Researchers found that eating 50 grams of processed meat every day or just one hot dog can increase your risk of colorectal cancer. Eating hot dogs also increase the risk of childhood leukemia, a risk of developing a brain tumor per week is 7 times higher than their risk for developing one as a result of regularly using a telephone on a child than eating one hot dog. Believe it or not, hot dogs can be fatal. It might increase the risk of your breast, bladder, and stomach if we eating processed meats. You have to be sure to chew slowly. The result can be unpleasant choking incident. Just imagine you are being killed by something already dead because it's found that inside most brains of the hot dog in many hospitals. As one of the top choking hazards food in our kitchen, especially when it comes to young children. The hot dog has the perfect shape and size to block a human windpipe that's hard to force out once it's in there. According to John Hopkins Children's pediatricians, a hot dog has the perfect plug that does not even let any air to get through. Therefore, pediatricians are medical practitioners specializing in children and their diseases should evoke all parents to mince thinly hot dogs before giving them to their children. Because this food choking causes nearly one childhood death in the United States every week. Infants and young children under 3 years old are particularly at risk of food choking because they don't have a full set of teeth to grind the food before swallowing the food. They, as children, still learning how to chew. Your children have a high level of activity also put them in danger. Running around and inhaling food, said Kapadia, a pediatrician. Next, as stated by Ocean Robbins, the CEO of the Food Revolution Network, eating hot dogs can increase your risk of diabetes. Hot dogs are high in nitrates and nitrates, two nitrosamine-forming compounds which can damage the pancreatic cells that make insulin. The saturated fat in hot dog can contribute to insulin resistance. It causes an allergic reaction to some people. There are people that are allergic to trimming foods. It's the fact that hot dogs are not healthiest food in the world. To conclude, I would like to emphasize that the three dangerous foods in the world are fugu, bullfrog, and hot dog. You have B1. Would you eat any of these foods? Between unknown toxics or dangers that may occur while eating all these foods, it's best to proceed with caution or just avoid them. And if you can't, choose slowly and wish for the best. Some people might question why a person who's spending their money to order the dish when there is lots more on the menu that may be more flavorful. They should be sold with warning labels. However, it's a choice for the individual. Thank you.